I like to frame it as like you're recommending, right? You become this like recommender, this professional recommender, right? You're always recommending how to help in this area or a tip or something of value.
We've all made mistakes in our network marketing journey, and in this video, we want to help you avoid a lot of these same mistakes that we've made. So if you're watching, make sure you hit that subscribe button and let us know in the comments what's your worst network marketing mistake that you've made so far. And we're going to be sharing some of our biggest mistakes now. And I want to know, like, what was your biggest mistake and when did you realize that you were making the mistake? Like, what made you aware?
So I used to prospect people in malls and restaurants, drive 2.5 hours one way to do that.
You told me to do it with you.
Yeah.
And I told you to do it
Remember,
with me.
we used to do that together.
We used to do that together.
So yeah. So this one time I was in the mall and I was, looking for my next victim, right? So the foyer where all like the husbands sit, the kids, like there's like a, it's pretty. It's got plants and sometimes a fountain, whatever. So I remember walking into the foyer and I was just like, okay, which one of these husbands am I going to accost? I'm gonna totally like attack him, right? And get his number, find out where his wife is, like, get in on the inside so I can get him in my business. Mm-hmm. And I was standing in that foyer and just looking around at all of those husbands and kids, and every single one of them was doing this. And I instantly was like, I've been wasting my time for the last 2 years. I need to figure out how to get into this, right? Because I could get their name and number, right? That was easy. But
that was your biggest aha moment, not a mistake.
The biggest mistake is I waited to get in.
We were
here.
prospecting in malls and at Walmart.
When like the whole world had already switched to, being attached to the screens, right? Mm-hmm. So that was the biggest mistake is me not being aware that the world had shifted and that I needed to get inside of that phone. So that was my aha, like, holy crap, I've been doing this wrong the whole time. And wasting hours and miles on my car and relationships with my children and all that stuff. So yeah.
I would say my biggest social media mistake as a network marketer was treating every person that I had a conversation with like a dollar sign. Every conversation that I had, whether it be on Facebook or on Instagram or whatever social media platform I was using in the beginning, it was all about me and how I needed their money.
What you could get from them.
The hidden agenda. Yeah. And because of that, I didn't build solid relationships, I was doing this hand in hand with, going to the malls because that was what I was told to do. I didn't know any better. And even if, like, I look back and we know that perception is reality, right? They could have been saying from stage, build relationships, but I didn't know how to do that. Yeah. I didn't know what that meant. And so I thought it meant, I remember thinking, talk to more people, right? I need to go find more people so I can build relationships with them. But the mistake that I made was thinking that I needed to build the relationship with them after they had joined me. Not before.
So not building the know, like, and trust before that you actually jumped them for your business.
Yeah. And I guess when I realized that I was doing it wrong was when I found a mentor. And that, like, I actually paid that mentor thousands of dollars. And he was like, you're doing this wrong. Like, I had to be told to my face, like, you're a spammy Tammy, right? Like, stop it. No, that's what I needed. And
you didn't become aware on your own?
No, they had to say, this is spammy to me. And I was like, oh my gosh. Like, and suddenly it was like just that disconnect of awareness, right? Where they noticed it. They, as my mentors, called me out on it. And I think about how many students that we have that we say something, they go and they do what they think that we mean. And it's us calling them out saying, this is wrong.
Right.
Or this is wrong, but this is
not effective.
Yeah. This is
not
going
to be effective.
This is not going to be effective.
It's not going to work.
Forward.
Yeah.
And so the best mentors that I've had have called me on that. Yeah. Called me on the stuff and told me what I needed to hear, not what I wanted to hear.
Right.
I chased all my friends and family. I had people running away from me in the street. I nearly killed myself jumping on a treadmill next to a person who I thought would be my perfect prospect. and try to talk to her, not realizing that she had actually headphones in. And
Were
so-
you Stacy?
I was Stacy. I was Stacy.
Adrian has an alter ego
Yeah.
of Stacy, and she's
I'm not a
really
runner.
spammy
I'm not a
marketer.
runner, so, yeah.
And Stacy jumped on a treadmill.
Yeah. I think so, honestly. But when I, I thought, okay, let me try and do this on social media. Let me try and build on social media. And so I made a Facebook group. Okay. I didn't have a big audience on social media. I didn't have a lot of friends, but I added every single one of them to my group. And I said, you can leave if you don't want to. Well, not only did they leave, they blocked and unfriended them too. I thought, if I just go put them into my Facebook group and I just go and put my products there and all my latest offers, they're going to be buying because everybody needs this product, apparently. Well, they didn't. And my audience diminished very rapidly. I realized big mistake. And we see so many network marketers doing this, adding everybody they know to their view. That was in the day where you could just add everybody.
Right.
Yeah.
Now you have to invite them, but then you could just add.
It was one button and added everybody.
And it was big mistake.
I have a really good example. You're like, there's no way you did this. I'm like, yep, I did. So 1998, right? There's no internet. Well, maybe there was, but I didn't know it existed. Or I couldn't afford it. No phone, no internet. So only face-to-face contact. And I was super shy and introverted. Like there's no in the world, I'll go to the mall or anywhere and start talking to people. I'll die. So what we used to do, it was my idea. So I had two young girls like me, my college mates, 19 years old. We would buy a stack of Post-it notes and we would start writing by hand. I don't know how many in this stack, 300, 400, 500. So we would peel them off and I think they were not sticky. They were just like little cards. And we would write on those notes, if you're looking for a job opportunity in the new international company, call this number. That's it. And we would go to apartment buildings because in Russia nobody had their own house. Like it's apartment buildings, and on the first floor they will have like a metal mailboxes with little slots on top. So we would go and put one of these Post-it notes in every single mailbox. So and we would do it until we ran out of 500 or however. So each one would have 500, so 1,500. We would do it at night, and we're like, the next day, someone has to stay at home and wait for the phone to ring. So the phone will ring because there are a lot of people who wanted a job, right? A job. And once they call, we'll tell them, so you have to show we had an office. We were not like some, janky mall sharks, right?
Now I'm a janky mulcher.
So we had an office with, space rented. And once a week on Thursdays at 6 p.m., when everybody done with their jobs that they hated, we would have a meeting presentation with all the bottles and compensation plan and how it's going to be the best thing ever. So we would tell them like that they're invited to an interview on Thursday at 6 p.m. And we had rooms filled with people, like 50 people, 100 people. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to be rich. True story. Guess how many people I recruited this way? One person who was my neighbor downstairs. Oh, my slip fell into her box, a job thing. Yeah. And she came knocking on my door, tell me about this job thing.
Because she knew you.
So yeah, there was a relationship.
Yeah.
I didn't tell her come to the meeting because well, tell me, right? Yeah. Tell me now. I was like, okay, let's go. Let's drink some tea and I'll tell you. So yeah, one person.
So do we want to talk about our biggest mistake on social media or just in our business? Because I do have either or.
Yeah.
Tell us the juiciest one.
I gave both. I gave two.
Okay. So we'll start with like my offline. I would say the biggest mistake I ever made was when I had my leaders in my upline started telling us and then having us hop on these calls and listening to people who purchased live interviewed leads, and then they were demonstrating live, like calling them and what to do. So it was like, oh my gosh, there's leads. Like I don't have to go looking for them, right? Like, and they were interviewed prior by a human, right? So you're getting them primed and ready. Like this is a no-brainer. Why isn't more people doing it, right? And so it's like you would pay, a few $100, and then all of a sudden, 100 leads would drop into your queue. And, you had their phone number, their email, like all the things, how much they want to make, how much they're willing to invest, right? So I started dialing numbers, and, then I started following people who were like masters of calling leads, right? And like I mastered the process, like everything. And there were days where I dialed 50 numbers because here we are. The leaders are like, you need to dial at least 50 numbers. That's what I did, right? Dial 50 numbers. And you have to speak to at least this many humans, right? So I'm like there calling all these people. And there were days where I got laughed at. I got cussed at. I got why are you calling me? And I'm like, you went through the interview. Yeah. You gave them me all your information. Something's up here. But you would dial, and you had however many seconds to give your elevator spiel to buy you more time to start taking them through a process, right? So out of all of that, okay, and I got really good. I got people booked on Zooms for that, right? To see the opportunity.
Yeah.
Wow.
I started getting people booked on. I started getting 5 and 6 people a day on Zooms from calling those, right? Well, at the end of it, I only ever enrolled one person from thousands of calls, thousands of leads, right? And I'm sitting here all these leaders are telling us to do this and that it's working. And I'm like, what is wrong? I will say this. It was a huge mistake in my business because, first of all, those people wanted nothing to do with what I was doing.
Yeah.
They also were not qualified, right? You also didn't know what you were walking into on the other side. There's a lot of there was a lot of no's and failure and rejection, right? So a lot of people would probably, quit, walk away at that point and just be like, why am I even doing this? But I got really good at the process and how to get them to move them to the next point. So that was a good part of it, but it took so much time out of my life. It wasted so much money at the end of the day, and it really didn't benefit my business, right? So that was my offline. Don't spend money on buying leads, please. Right. But then I guess when it comes to social media, it would be, and I actually wouldn't say it's a mistake, but we've been, it's kind of what we've been echoing over the last several episodes, which is spamming. But it was really, when I took my offline offline home parties onto online Facebook parties, and you're it's just, again, didn't work. And knowing what I know now, right? Not the right people, wrong audience. They weren't asking for it. You're just inviting all these people.
I remembered something I did.
All these things that we've done.
brought back an online Facebook party.
I mean, so much work for no gain, right? You want to buy the $20 under eye serum. After all these hours of all this stuff, it's
you made 10.
You made 10
one time.
Or zero.
One time.
Or zero.
Oh, there's lots of zeros.
Yeah.
Right? But it was one time, oh my gosh, so it just was so much time wasted, so much effort and money too, and at the end of the day, I'm not a quitter, I guess, because I just knew if I hung in there long enough.
You just go through the brick wall harder and faster.
But I know there's so many other people that would have quit throughout this process. And it's man, what have we been putting ourselves through, and crazy.
I have to tell you this story. There's no freaking way you did this. So it's more modern day social media. Facebook, I think, was fairly new. There was not much right now going on. So remember the game Farmville?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
I was a Farmville shark. So the game goes like you go and start plowing some things, planting like corn or whatever, then you wait till it grow. And at some point you gotta run out of land or something. You have to go to find people in the community and ask them to come to your lot and work on your farm. Oh my God. I remember now. Oh my God. So the only thing, like, I was embarrassed to ask my real Facebook friends to go and plow on my farm bill because I'm like, so I would go into the community and look for people to go work on my farm. The only problem, Bill.
How did you even turn that into like network marketing?
Listen, so you had, in order for someone to work on your farm, I can't even, and then you have to go to work on their farm. You have to be Facebook friends. So you will have to send them friend request. They will have to accept it, and then you go work on their farm. They come work on your farm.
I still can't even believe this is really coming
So
out of
anyway,
your mouth.
no, like, you don't understand. So my idea was not to work on anybody's farm. My goal was to get more Facebook friends.
So
I could prospect them.
Draw them in through the farm.
I'm gonna go.
Recruit them into
We're gonna start packing down corn. Packing down corn, one person at a time.
I used to do that just to go to Farmville.
You like Farmville? So do I. Let me tell you why you're perfect for my thing.
we could be friends and build a huge business together.
Not in Farmville.
If
Not
you
Farmville.
think that farms are great, you just wait till you see my business.
Wait till you see my farm.
So with all that said, you know, we've talked about all the janky stuff that we've done.
And that's just like, that's the tip
That's
of the
just
iceberg.
the tip of the iceberg on some of the stuff we've done. What advice do we have for like the people that are just starting out, wanting to grow their business on social media? What are some things that they can do that are the right things that they should be doing so that they don't have to worry about falling into some of these mistakes and Farmville mistakes?
Number one would be to clean up your social media, like take all your
Yeah, that's a
links
good one.
and products and all that off of social media, because you want to build a relationship. And when people come to your profiles, they don't want to see like corporate buy my stuff or like
Yeah, it puts up a wall.
it's like an advertising billboard, right? We want to get to know you as a human.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of, and then the second piece would be building an audience of the right people, like people, problem aware people that are looking for what you want, right? Or what you have. And it could be in any industry like we've talked about.
Right.
So
What's the next
And
step?
I would say if something that you're doing right now either doesn't make sense or make you want to throw up,
Yeah.
there's
your sign.
There's your sign.
that there is a better way.
Yeah.
You just have to be open, like, and be coachable and willing to learn the new skill sets and start attracting people to you instead of farming on someone's bill.
or mall sharpie.
So we're cleaning up our social media. We're connecting with the right people. We now need to like engage and build actual relationships, not just
human.
not just come farm. And then like after you have a relationship, at that point, like we need to do some curiosity posts around whatever it is that we're promoting.
Your content needs to serve.
Your content serves, we provide value, and we sprinkle calls to action in there to check out whatever it is that we're doing. But because we provided value and the know, like, and trust is there, you have people coming to you.
Yeah.
Well, and here's the thing. It's like what Carrie just said is like when you're constantly providing value, right? I like to frame it as like you're recommending, right? You become this like recommender, this professional recommender, right? You're always recommending how to help in this area or a tip or something of value, right? So then when you recommend, because you've built that influence, and then you recommend like, hey, oh my gosh, I'm using this stuff. Like you guys got to get your hands on it, and that's with everything, right? It's like with anything that you're going to put out there, whether it's like a product that you're selling, right? That from your company, or just anything, right? Because we're all like, oh my gosh, where'd you get that shirt? I got to go get it. Like I love this and that about it, right? And so as you're like showing up like that to your audience and you're like, you guys, I got to tell you about this. Like, this is my new favorite drink, or this is my new favorite food, right? You're always delivering value. So as you start to recommend or promote or give your calls to action, people don't see it as abnormal or weird because it's something that you're showing up every day, providing the value, recommending, right? And it's not weird and it's not awkward, right?
All right, so with that, if you're ready to start attracting and recruiting the right people into your network marketing business, and you want our help and some of the secrets and tips that we've shared, then you're gonna wanna click the link in the description of this video and go and download our Social Recruiting Secrets course. Check that out. It's gonna be a game changer for your business, and we'll see you on the next episode.
I just made a mistake, or maybe you just made a mistake. There we go. Good. Okay, now see another one. Look at someone else.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Oh no. No. Cool. Perfect.